I want to welcome all of you to the webinar tonight, and I wanted to thank you and tell you I appreciate you being here. I was tickled when I looked, and almost 40 people had signed up for the webinar. I just want to give you a little advance warning. I've had a terrible time for about a week with my service provider. It's been kicking me off all day. I've got some backup, so if I just disappear, I have Katrina Moody here, who is perfectly capable of taking over. So if there's a little silence for a while, Katrina's going to step right in and just take over for me. I think everybody here knows who I am, but I'm just going to give you a little short rundown of who I am. I'm Elizabeth Manus from AssistSocialMedia.com. I started my business, AssistSocialMedia.com, in April of this year. I've been working online for about 10 years. I had another business. I wanted to diversify. I met the fabulous Kim Garst and thought, yep, this is what I want to do. I want to help other companies use social media like I had done to broadcast and advertise my business. And that's what I've done for years, and it's what I did for 10. And what I mainly did was find ways to make the sites that I built and the products that I was selling come up in Google search. If you get your product in Google search in the place where, hey, people are looking to buy and they're looking for a particular product and you come up first, you're going to sell that product. And that's, I studied intently for years how to make that happen. And over the years, you know, things change and you have to stay on top. And one of the things that I learned, and Katrina Mooney helped me figure out some things about it, Kim Garst helped me learn some things about WordPress. You really have to have a WordPress platform. And my favorite plug for SEO, and that's search engine optimization, is the Yoast WordPress plug. One thing I want you to do before you try to install this, if you have something else, and a lot of people do, copy all of the settings from what you already have. Don't just go and download this plug and start doing everything that I tell you. Wait, if you've already got something, and make sure that you save all of those settings and then you copy them. Then go back in and then you change them, because it can affect the way excuse me, that you appear in search negatively, and that's not what we want to do. Okay, the first thing that we want to look at is once you open it up, you can go to your general settings and your dashboard. Allow the tracking of the WordPress installation for anonymous data. That's just to let the people that have made this plug know how it's doing, and it'll help you because it helps them. The more they know about it, the better. I let that happen. I don't reset to default on the general settings, and down here, disable the advanced part of WordPress SEO meta box. Don't do that. Don't do that. Leave that unchecked. I can't think of a good time to do that, and so don't do it. Your webmaster tools. I don't have mine in here because if you've already got them verified, you don't have to put them in here. But if you haven't, it's a great idea to get all of those tools put in and verified. And it's just simple to do. You can click on these links here, and it'll take you right to where those tools are. I love the Google Webmaster Tools, especially the ones that help you pick out your keywords. This is the big thing that we've talked about this month, and we had in Social Boom, and we've had some great webinars and posts about it, and you really have to know what your keywords are in order to even be found in Google. So before you start to even write a post, know what your keywords are, and it isn't just one word. It's a phrase. It's a key phrase, and know what that key phrase is, and then get started. I'm going to go over here to the tiles in the meta, if it's going to go for me, and it is. Okay, your title settings. You don't need to force a rewrite of those settings. Don't do that. Don't play with that. On your site-wide meta settings, I don't want my subcategories and pages to be archived. The reason you don't want that is because when you get your SEO set just right and your tags and your categories, there's a particular one that you want to come up first. If you let those page twos or things that are subcategories and subpages come up, the one that's important that you really want out there may not come up first. So if you'll check this, that won't happen. And this is something that is highly debated. I do have this checked to use the meta keyword tag. Google says that it does not use this anymore, and it was to keep people from using this meta keyword tag to actually be kind of spammy and stuff, and get all the keywords when really they weren't the relevant topic or relevant site for it. Now other search engines besides Google use these to index pages, and guess what? Google listens to what those search engines say. So in a way, they still use it because they consider what other search engines have as first, second, and third places on a particular topic, and I use it. It's not going to hurt anything, but you do need to make sure that you don't check like 10 keywords for a page or a post. You don't want to do that. I don't check and mess with any of the rest of that. Some people come down here and hide the short link per post. I don't do that. There are times when that can mess with your search, and you can take it out, and here's the place to do it. But if you're just the average user, don't mess with any of this. This is something that I'm really excited about that you can do and use with it, and that's the social search. Facebook has now become very relevant in search. We already knew that. All of us people who play with social media, and those of us who actually use it to make a living. But I do add that open graphics metadata so that Google can pick up from my blog anything that is connected to Facebook, and it's great to put it together. If you want, you can have an image set right here, and you can put it there, and a description for, like, if you didn't have a post and it's going to pick that image up. Say you don't have the best of graphics, but if you're affiliated with our crew, you can have some pretty good graphics. But say you don't, and you just have one. That would be the only instance I could see where you would use that. I don't use it because I have pictures on every post, so I don't put anything in there. You can do that, and you can do that right here. You can also set a default image. I don't do that because I like to have a different image whenever I post my blog post out there. I want it to have different images, but if, again, you don't have the best of graphics, you could put a default image right here, and every time you put a link out there, it would show that one. Now this is really cool. You can add to your header your Twitter ID, and that's going to link up your Twitter ID with your site, and it's also going to add your Twitter card metadata right there. I love it. I love that you can do that, and you can see that I've done that. And all you do here is save your settings. To do a sitemap. Before I used this, you needed a separate plug, and a lot of you might already have one. So this would be another place that you'd have to be careful. You would first deactivate the plug that is generating your sitemap. It's not going to take your sitemap off the internet. And then check this one to build your sitemap and to send it to Google. Then I always check this one, ping Yahoo, ping Ask. It may or may not be a big deal for it to ping those sites with your sitemap, but if they're going to do it, let them do it. Good, maybe it'll get in there. These are the things that I exclude, and that's media. And this, and landing pages, because you put up landing pages to sell a particular product. So you don't want them just to not see your follow-up or get or hear something before they just land there. It's you know, it just may not get the right, it may not get it put indexed correctly. So I don't let them get the landing pages, and it's not recommended by anybody. On your media, on your pictures, if you put up that you don't want that to be included, when people like pull up your picture, they can't just download it. They actually have to go to your site and see the rest of it. Really, really like that. Because people do just search images. I do it. And this way they have to go to your site to actually see the image. Down here in the exclude taxonomy, I don't exclude any of these from my sitemap. And it says the maximum default is 1,000. So far, I don't have 1,000 pages. I mean, some of you might, so you might want to go ahead and put that in. But I'm not looking at 1,000 pages yet. On your permalinks, I don't know if you've noticed this, and this is why I have this checked, and until it gets fixed or resolved, you can actually have your blog post have the word, not the actual category that it's in, but the word category out there as part of your URL. You don't want that. If you check here, Yoast will make sure that doesn't happen. And then the slashes, this is a way to keep those page 2, page 3, and so on and so forth being indexed when you don't want them to be. It cleans up your permalink. This also makes the redirect attachments to the URLs to parent post. That makes sure that your URL does go to the page. Sometimes if you don't make sure they're redirected, if you have a link, like say you're talking about Google and it's linked out to Google and you have the whole topic up there, instead of it coming up under your page and then having to go to your page first, it will actually take them to that link. So this is a way to make sure that doesn't happen. I would not touch this with a 10-foot pole. I don't even know a whole lot about this, but if you have a problem with your JavaScript, you need somebody better than probably you or me to fool with it, because you've got an issue there. So you do need a really professional webmaster to look at it, and they could help you here with that Yoast. I wouldn't just play with this, know exactly what you're doing. I don't clean up my URLs, and I actually have this at default. For your internal links, I have the breadcrumbs enabled, and when you have breadcrumbs enabled on your site, it helps the meta robots find their way around your site to things that are similar, and index each thing easier, and also helps people who are reading it find other material on your site that's similar, so it keeps them there a little longer, helps you with your bounce rate. If you were to have some serious issue and you can't get the breadcrumbs to work, they have this, the whole function here. Don't touch that. Do not touch that unless you know what you're doing. And I know just enough to be dangerous. I've actually played with or thought I could do something and tried, and it was a disaster, and I had to pay somebody a lot of money to come behind me and fix it. So I wouldn't advise you just play with that. On my feeds, I like the way my feeds look just the way they are. But look at all the things that you can do. You can put your author link. I had a post today about how important author links are now in Google, and you can put that in there so that if you have FeedBurner or something like that, that author link is going to come up. The post link, the blog link. Like I said, don't have it right here. I haven't messed with it at all. I like the way it looks. But if you want to, you have variables here that'll teach you how to do that. And we can do another session on how to set that up, because I don't think it's that important. This is the importing and exporting. This is where, if you've got another theme, another plug, not another thing, you can import that data to your Yoast plug. They've made it simple to do, and if you've already got things set up, you want it to look the same again. You don't want it to have two different, and then Google doesn't know, well, which one do they really want, which one is important. If you will transfer them over and then say, okay, I want to change this, I want to try this, that's okay. But if you don't transfer it first before you trade plugs, you're going to have some issues. It's going to show it out there twice, so you don't want to do that. And I haven't had to transfer because I've always used this plug. But that is an issue, and that was something that when I talked about SEO before, I didn't really make it, and talked about using this particular plug, I didn't make it clear that you really shouldn't just go out there and trade plugs without really checking into it and really looking at stuff like this. Very important that you don't just decide I'm going to get this one and wreck everything that you've maybe worked a year to build up. So let's look at what we're doing before we do that. I wanted to show you, I think I skipped something over here. Yeah. They're actually templates that you could for all of your posts, make them the same. You don't want to do that. Don't do that. I don't know of an instance where that would be a good idea. Every time you have a post, if it's the description, the meta description is a bit unique, that's great. That's great for your SEO value. It's great for people who are looking through who, you know, they might have seen something else you wrote and it really not appealed to them, but you put the right thing in there this time, and then you've got them. If it always says the same thing, then those same people are always going to overlook you. So I would never, not on any of them, unless it's my home page, and you should have that set up in appearance, in the editor and theme, what the tag title is there. And if you don't understand that, you can give me, you can send me an email and I'll help you out there. But you should already have that set up, so your home page should be, you know, perfect. I still wouldn't set up anything automatically for that. That defeats the whole purpose of having this. Let's see. It's the same thing with categories, tags, formats. I do not think you ought to make any of them all the same. It's just not a good idea. It doesn't help you out a bit. None of these do I check or use. These things should already be set up for you. I want to show you, in case you don't know, now we went over this before, but if you didn't see that, I want to show you what Yoast can do when you're posting a new post on your blog. Let's see, I started one, let's go with that one. This is what I love about Yoast. It will let you, I'm going to just type in Yoast all in one. Say that's my key focus. Okay. When you're, and it's going to also find related keywords. So say maybe you didn't do your homework and you don't have the keywords set up. Well, guess what? It's going to help you find that maybe there's a better one out there. Love that. When you get ready, this is going to be the, you see where it's just got this snippet? It took it from right up here. But say I want this title to look like one thing. That's for my readers. But when I broadcast it and I get it out there in search, I want it to say something else, like assist social media's Yoast post. Okay? Can't think right now. It's going to let me change it, and so when it goes out and we see it on Google, it'll say whatever I tell it to right here, but I can still have it say something else here. If you don't have a plug like this, you can't do this. If you watched Tara and Christine talk about working on your SEO, they told you what I say and what I learned, and that is that you want your keyword to be at the beginning of your tag title here and in your meta description and page URL. It's important for those three things to match, and Yoast will remind you if you've done a decent job of it. Let's just say that's it. And it's all in one. Yes, all in one. Yes, all. I don't know why it's saying the URL in it. I'll have to hide this for a second. I see. It'll also let you know if you do something like that. I actually had that, yeah, those letters transposed. Yoast all in one, Yoast all in one. It will give you a little nudge and say, you have messed up there. And you can keep looking at it until you get a green light. Yes, it's there. Yes, it's there. Yes, it's there. Now, I know we don't have any content, but we're going to let it analyze. Do you not love this? Okay. It says there's one word contained in the body, so that's not good. A meta description has been specified, but it does not contain the target keyword and phrase. It doesn't appear in the first paragraph. The image on this page, the images are missing. The alt tags are the description, and I'll show you how to do that. That's pretty simple. And a stop word, yes, it's hard to do one without. But the ultimate goal is to get the green light, and I'll just show you all my posts. And see this? You don't want that. That says the SEO is poor, and that's what Yoast tells you, is that you need to do a better job. On these, I have green lights. You can do this with your page. You can go in and optimize it. I went through and optimized a page because I hadn't done it, and actually looked again, and there it was. The very first came up first in Google for a word, and this was just, you know, a product. I was floored because, you know, I hadn't thought about doing that. I don't know why. I don't know why, because that's what I used to do all the time. It's like sometimes I forget it's the same business, it's the same deal, it's just a different product. But anyway, I had not done it, and I went in and just changed a few things and got the green light, and there it was, up in first place in Google on something that's very relevant and important. And once you get a lot of keywords, Christine and Tara told you the strategy that I do, and that's when I go and I search in that Google tool. I get that medium to low word. Those were the words that I tried to get first because the competition isn't as hard. And once you get those, you become more important, and Google notices you more and more and more. And the next thing you know, you can do like I did. On something that was really important that I had neglected to do, went back, worked on it. In no time, I had that first place in Google that I really wanted. So I really, really love this plug, and just highly recommend it. Let's get back here. Make sure I didn't skip one that I wanted to tell you about, but I think I've hit it. You can edit files here even. Don't play with this. Do not touch this if you don't know what you're doing, which that means I don't touch it. I don't touch this one. It's just not a good idea, but this is where a professional can go in and work on your site if you have some issues and rewrite things. But don't touch this. If you don't know, do not play with it if you don't know. And I'm not saying this is a dangerous plug. There are a lot of plugs that if you don't know, you shouldn't fool with it. But definitely don't go in and play with that. I'm going to go back one more time to the post section and show you what I meant about the alt tags for a picture. I went over it before, but I want to go over it again because it's really, really important that you, let me add one, low media, that you add them. I'm going to pick this one. Look over here. That alt text, make it your keyword and the title of the picture. And this is another trick that I do. And it's another way to get some. Also, go in here and describe the picture by talking about, similar to your meta description, what your post is about. That's what you want your picture to get somebody's attention. Go and make sure that you fill all that out. And I'm going to insert it into my post. Well, I think I am. Okay, there it is. Let's go over here under the advanced in mine. I'm going to change it here to, what is it? Yoast all-in-one. Okay. Let me save it. Let's see. Yeah, I see why it didn't do that here. It will take out a stop word, like small words, short words, they're stop words, and put it back in. So maybe I'll get that green light. Well, I'm not going to get it because I don't have content. But let's see if it will analyze and show the picture does have it. The image, yeah. See, get the green light on the image. That's another way to get another little SEO kick for your post, is to make sure that your picture has that same key phrase as you were going for your whole post. So make sure that, and that's when they talk about, do you have your alt tags right? Do you have your alt tags right? That's all it is, right there. Really, really, really simple to put that in there, just like it's supposed to be. And this is something that I do with mine. This was for another post, and it was SEO strategy. And so I named the picture SEO strategy, and when I uploaded it to my computer, that was its name. And when I uploaded it to my blog, it had that name. It had my key phrase as the picture's name in the URL. Important in that SEO. And I think that I'm going to see if you guys have some questions. I will give you my some of my, what I call my secrets, and I like to give things a little bit of a kick. Of course, I have this great SEO plug. I do the things like Christine and Tara told you about, making sure those three things all match: your URL, your title, and your key phrase. You want them at the beginning of those if you can. If it's going to sound weird, don't do it. The other thing that I do is I post at midnight. I post to every single social media platform that I have all at the same time and all at midnight, because that gives it the opportunity. And when I say at midnight, I mean midnight Eastern Standard Time. Most people that are on social media are in that time zone. So that's when I consider midnight, not wherever I am. So I did not make that clear, and some people, didn't get that. So I mean midnight Eastern Standard Time. And that gives it 24 hours to be out there, to get traffic, and to get picked up and noticed by Google. And I get, a lot of times when I was struggling, and in the beginning, I'd get what I call those flashes. I would get, because it was popping up in so many places all of a sudden and getting attention, a blog post, I'd get that first place for, I don't know, an hour, hour and a half. But if it happens at the right time of the day, you're going to get a good little bit of traffic from that. And if you keep doing that over and over and over and over, guess what? Google's going to say, I think that site must be important, because they get a lot of attention here and there. And the place for, or the way to get that attention is you have to get it out there yourself. You have to do the work. You have to show people, hey, here it is, come see it. You put it out there and people will come if you put up an interesting tag title. Now, I'm not sure if my Pauline made it. She had a little bit of an issue. Is Pauline here? I don't see her.
No, she's not here.
Okay. She was afraid she was going to have a conflict, and that's okay. What Pauline was going to tell you was basically what I kind of showed you. And so we're going to go back over here to, well, we're in it. Let me go to post. And what you could do to get people there to your site is to make that title as interesting as you can. And Pauline and I work together, and we will talk about and bounce off each other's heads. Get you a good friend who's really savvy with words. She helps me a tremendous amount find interesting titles. I have people comment on those titles and say, hey, that's really neat, I like that title. You can get people to your site with interesting titles, and you don't, just because you're using your key phrase, you don't have to make it sound so, generic and uninteresting. Say that I put out this Yoast all-in-one plug. Well, people who are interested in that may come, they may not. But if you, like she came up and we were talking about the Google authorship and SEO. Now, if I just put that, there would be some people that came. But how 10 characters brought a dead author back to life. You know what? That might bring more people than just the other. In fact, I know it will, because they're like, what? What? So you can make it interesting. You can still have that SEO value and make it interesting. And now it's very important that your content be not like what I used to do. I think I wrote a post about, I would not even want you to see some of the things I used to write. That was stuff. I mean stuff. That's what we did, and we got by with it for years and years and years to get our sites to the top of search, and it was awful. It was pure garbage, and you can't get away with it anymore. And you know, just a little effort, you can make something sound interesting, talk about what's important about your business and bring people to your site, and get clients. People will come that might not have come and go, oh yeah, you know what, I think I need that. Even if they weren't really shopping for it, you can get people really interested in your business or your product, or hey, they might not need it, but they read something that you wrote that really spoke to them, they'll recommend it. So think about your content, and if you would read it, is it interesting? Do your very best at making it interesting. And if you got somebody, I have Pauline look and say, I tell her, is this garbage or what? And she'll say, yeah, that's garbage. And so I'll do a little work, but have somebody that you could get to help you out with that content. I'm gonna let's see if I've got some questions. I think I do, and let Dawn help me see who has the questions and let them answer it. Can you do that for me, Dawn?
Absolutely. Actually, the easiest way is if somebody has a question, if they want to raise their hand, and then I will unmute them.
I just thought I saw like this flashing something or other.
Oh, here is a question.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Thank you so much for organizing this webinar. The content is exactly what I need because I know next to nothing about SEO. I unfortunately have to run, but will you be able to share the webinar recording with us? Absolutely, we are recording it. It does take a couple hours for it to get set up, so it might be tomorrow morning before it gets taken care of, but it will go out.
Could you unmute Katrina, or Katrina, could you unmute yourself? I didn't do something that I meant to do that is in my notes, and she sent me a little message. And Katrina, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I didn't go over how you can include your author rel, and would you just do that really fast and just remind people, because I didn't do it, and then you might can think of something else that I may have forgotten. I invited Katrina to be on standby, and she graciously said yes. I was terrified that my server might just kick me completely off. I've yelled at everybody at Frontier until they won't take my calls.
Well, did you want me? I don't need to show my
Yeah,
screen,
go
do I?
through the how you can put your author name on there, because it's so important. I just did a post about it today, and didn't go through that in this.
Okay, I don't think I can. Oh, yeah, I guess I can. Ah, I can make myself a presenter. How special.
You
All right.
can.
You learn something new every day. So, can you see my screen now? I'm under my Yoast settings on my Cat's Cafe site, actually, of all things.
I can see it.
Okay, great. You guys are gonna laugh at me here in a minute, but basically what I was telling Liz and what she's already talked about before, but a lot of people don't realize, and they still don't have their Google metadata in their website information, because usually you have to put it in your scripts area or in the head of your site, and some people are just not quite up on trying to do that. But what's really great most is you can actually go under the titles and meta of your section of the site, and then if you go on to the home section there, don't pay attention to a lot of my stuff here. I actually just switched my site back over again. But if you go down on the home section here, you can actually highlight your author, which is me, and your publisher page, which if you actually have a page for your site on Google+, you can put in your Plus URL there. What's really nice is if you've made sure to integrate your Google Plus links, your Twitter links, and everything into your author data on your site, this automatically helps set up your rel status with Google and helps to set you up as an authority on your site. It gives you more credibility with Google and helps with your SEO as well. And it's one step closer to having your little picture there to help highlight your posts when folks are searching for relevant keyword terms and your stuff comes up. So that's always a bonus. There's actually, because I'm actually playing in a site that's a multi-site with the cafe now, there's ways to hide some of the sections that you don't want people to look at. But I wanted to go back over to the dashboard really fast. When Liz was talking earlier, and I apologize in advance because The Simpsons is big in my house and everybody thinks they still need to watch it. So Mommy doesn't get out of that just because I'm talking. So I just had to share that with you in any case. If ever you're coming into the Yoast, they automatically have a tour that takes you through some of the great features that he includes there. But if you have problems and you can't remember some of the easiest stuff, you know, like maybe you're just trying to remember where things are at, the tour that kind of introduces you to the plugin itself is a great place to kind of show you kind of where things are at a little more quickly so that you can kind of get a leg up again when you have issues like that. The only other thing I think I was going to mention was if you go over to the RSS thread under the Yoast settings, which, you know, I have my nice slow little computer system from Kingdom Come. But if you come under here, sometimes when we are trying to set up our feeds, we notice that people will scrape those feeds. So a really nice way to know that you can search to see if people have scraped your content is you can put a unique identifier in your content after each post. A lot of people are concerned about folks taking their content. It's a really easy way, just a quick, you have your post link and your blog link, but the way I have that set up, I have just a few. This post, the post links, appeared first on, and because I have those words set up specifically like that, I can actually search for that when I'm going through my research to check to make sure no one thinks my stuff's all that special. I think, honestly, Liz covered everything really awesomely, unless there's something specific I really need to address because you guys want to hear my voice. I think I can probably shut up.
Well, I'm enjoying hearing you talk, and I really am enjoying hearing somebody talk besides me. And I appreciate you having my back because I have been just sweating all day and really unhappy because I have been kicked off and off and off and off and off and off. And it may be because I was really nasty to them earlier, but they really have a serious issue with Facebook. I can't get on from 10 in the evening to 10, and Mandy's having it, anybody with Frontier's having it, and they try to blame it on Facebook. Well, if it's Facebook, then everybody would have the issue. But anyway, thank you so much, Katrina, and thanks for going over that about the hooking up your author link with Google, because, like I said, I did a post about that today.
Well, I knew you knew how to do it, so it wasn't a question of that.
Well, as you see, that's my Google authorship and SEO and how important it is. That was my post today, and I had it to show, and it was in my notes, but I was distracted a couple of times with the phone ringing, and I'm me. But anyway, if anybody has a question, if you'll raise your hand, be happy to answer it. Just one little thing I will send you if you ask is exactly how to change if you decide you want to use Yoast plug from another plug. You don't just do that willy-nilly because it can cause you to have, two different things going out to Google, and you don't want that. And if you'd like, I can send you, got a little, just a little step-by-step 1, 2, 3, 4 from a pretty good authority on exactly how to do it, because like I said before, I've always used this plug when I set up WordPress. I didn't get on till late in life, and anyway, so I've always used it and had just really great results with it.
Well, Anita said you're doing an excellent job, and a great job, ladies. She has to run. And then Terry said, Liz, you are a Yoast genius. Seriously, thanks for making this so easy to understand.
Well, I'm sorry I was a little nervous, but I was so afraid I was going to get kicked off till, I really was, my mouth was absolutely glued together. But I knew Katrina once I saw Katrina was there, and it actually dawned on me, oh my gosh, I can just ask Katrina to have my back if I get kicked off, so other people that have come will not be disappointed, because I know she could have gone right through it. So I appreciate everybody coming, and if there are no other questions, it's pushing time to go.
Okay, Lisa just says, excellent job, Liz. You explained how to use Yoast so well. So you really did. Great job, Liz.
Well, I appreciate it. And like I said, if I didn't go over something, you know, send me an email. We'll get in the GoToWebinar, just me and you and your site, and we'll figure it all out, and I'll help you get anything set up. And if you're in You Do, Tara and Christine really had a great webinar about SEO, and I've studied SEO on my own now, not in a university, because they can't teach it. You cannot learn this in school because it changes so often. You have to keep up. So do have somebody that you can keep up with. But they had a wonderful webinar, and if you didn't go and listen to it and watch it, you need to, because it was great. They talked about something that I didn't know. So you can always learn, and even though that's something that I specialize in, something that I've just worked on all the time, you can still learn something from somebody else, and they did a great job. Well, I'm going to go, and thank you guys for coming, and everybody that signed up for the webinar and you weren't able to make it, you're going to get the recording. And thank you so much, Dawn. She's a superhuman. She has a house full of sickness, and she still came and helped me, and that's just because You Can Do, people rock, and we're a family.
I'm happy to help. Good job, sweetie. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Dawn. Bye.